If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. And I would be a fairy, a purple fairy, or a unicorn, because why wouldn't you want to be a unicorn? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Our idiom, our expression, our proverb today is, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Now, this is one that comes from a Scottish proverb in the early 1600s, as well as a nursery rhyme. And I got to tell you, I don't remember hearing this at all my entire life as a child or as a grown-up. I don't think that this particular proverb sounds familiar to me. Now, there's variations of it, of course, like there are many proverbs. There's, if wishes were fishes, we'd all cast a net in the sea. If ifs and ands were pots and pans, if ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinker's hands. Then there's another one that's about turnips either being bayonets or swords. If turnips were swords, I'd have one at my side. If turnips were bayonets, I'd carry one, or I'd wear one by my side. Something to the effect of that. Obviously, not familiar with these expressions, and so they're hard for me to remember. So what do they mean? They remind us that wishing for something, simply wishing for it, sitting on the couch. I remember the movie The Secret. Basically, just sit on the couch and visualize what you want. Think about what you want. But it forgot to remind us to take action. If we sit around and we wait for things to happen, nothing will happen in our life, especially in the areas of our life that are important. If we're starting and growing and supersizing our business, it is not going to happen on its own. Also, nobody is going to come along and do it for us. It's absolutely positively up to us to create the business and the life and the relationships and the experiences that we want to have in our life. Nobody is going to come along and do it for us. Nobody can live our lives for us. Nobody can have the experiences that we can have. It's up to us to do that. You know, the best made plans are worthless. And I'm a planner. I'm definitely a planner. But if I don't take action and implement those plans, I can have the best plan, the best business plan, the best product plan, the best book outline, the best anything on the planet. But if I don't follow through and take action on that idea or that plan, nothing is going to happen. We're not going to change the world. We're not going to have any results whatsoever. We have to be willing to stand up for the people that we care about, stand up for the things that we care about, create what it is that we want to see in the world, be the example for the rest of the world, because people are afraid to take action, especially nowadays with COVID and politics and all the craziness in the world. People need you to be the example for them, to lead and show them the way, show them that if it's possible for you, it's possible for them as well. So I would love to know people's experience or understanding or using this particular idiom. Since I'm not familiar with it, I love to know other people's stories where they have encountered it. Of course, I learned at a young age that if I just wished for something, I wasn't going to get it. I had to figure out how to take action to move me toward that thing that I wanted. I'll never forget my sister, who's a year younger than me, wanted a poke out book. When we were little girls, they had paper dolls and poke out books, little outfits where you'd poke out the doll and then you'd put the little outfits with the tabs on them. Now my granddaughter has magnets and magnetic ones, which are super cute and fun to use and less damageable. But back then, my sister wanted this poke out book. And for like 2 months, now all of us would have liked a poke out book, right? All four of us would have wanted a poke out book. But my one sister taught me this lesson. She took action. Now, albeit super duper annoying action, but she took action every single day, every day, without fail. She begged my parents for a poke out book. She worked it into every conversation. She worked it into every outing. She worked asking for that poke out book dozens of times every single day for 2 months. And she actually just wore my parents down. And all of a sudden, one day, my dad came home from work with a poke out book because he didn't want to hear about the poke out book anymore. And neither did any of the rest of us. But the lesson that taught me and my other sisters as well was that if you really, really want something, you have to put forth the effort to go out and make it happen. Now, she was only, 5 or 6 years old, so she wasn't going to be able to go out and get it herself. So her only recourse was to, continually beg my parents for a poke out book until she actually created that poke out book and made it a part of her life. Works that way in everything else, especially in building our businesses. Anything worthwhile, anything we want to create, the way we want to impact the world is going to be up to us. Will other people help us? Will we need other resources to help us create what it is that we want? Yes, but it's up to us to be the visionary, the driving force, the leader of that effort in order to get other people on board to help us create the impact that we want to create in the world. So share in the comments below your experience with this idiom. I'm excited to hear it. And I will be with you, of course, tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business and your life right now? Have an amazing day. Bye.